All right, so this will be my testimony, or a little bit about myself and how God has changed me. You'll notice we got a fresh bunch of snow. There's no tracks. I love it. It's very similar to the way God makes you, perfectly clean and pure, and all the marks are gone. Beautiful. Anyways, so as my testimony starts, I was never, perfect, Christian in the term. When I was young, I always went to church and school, and I went to Sunday school, I went to youth group, and during that time, I was able to follow, after God. And about 18, it's hard to describe, but it was almost like a falling out with the church, I guess you could say, and I went out on my own. Basically, I left church when I was 18, and I became a prodigal. Now, what you may not know is that's like, oh, that's a regular story, but what you don't know about it is for 23 years, as I was into it when I was 10 years old, was a crippling pornography addiction. And that started when I was 10, about 10 years to 11, somewhere in there, and it would start a chain of events in my life that would lead to the inevitable downfall of me. Now, while I was going to Sunday school and youth group and going to church, I still had my pornography addiction. I was still viewing it countless times. Now, many people do this, but I did it, and eventually the shame and the just sheer, self-hate I was getting for myself pushed up there, and I said, I'm done at 18, and I became a prodigal. I became the worst person you want to be around. I didn't have many friends. I started drinking here and there when I was younger. I was not the person you wanted to be around. I wasn't a good friend. If I could get ahead of you at work, or you told me a secret and I wanted something from you, I would use that as leverage, and I would blackmail you into getting what I basically wanted. I was almost as bad as Judas. If I could further my own goals, I would sell you out in a heartbeat. And so I wandered a lot of it. I had alone, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? And then I got into the red pill YouTubers, the Hamzas and the David Hammond, I look at him as a little brother, before he turned to Christ. It was amazing, how big a change is. Just go look him up. It's David Hammond. You can see how much he's turned from a degenerate red pill to just a godly Christian man, and how he's encouraged me, as well as Braden and some other ones, to start a YouTube channel and to strengthen my walk with God. So as I said, I got into these Hamzas, David Hammond, and all these other red pills, and I'm like, what is this they're talking about? No pornography, semen retention. You can pick up women. I'm like, really? So I got this red pill mindset, because, as I said, I turned away from the church as a prodigal, and I sort of fell, and I didn't have a father figure growing up. I didn't have a father. He left when I was 2. So I needed to belong somewhere, and I found these red pill guys, and they said, you don't need women, you don't need this, you just need to get in shape, make money, and you can have all the women you want, all the fame. So I started this mindset. I became what was called initiated into it. They had courses. One guy offered on how to pick up women. Of course, me being at the time, I took it, and I was able to learn how to pick up women, which I could do, but every time I would get a girl, or I'd talk to one, or, it would be just right there at the hookup phase, it was like something stopped me. I could have closed the deal, and probably slept with her. But the problem is, it was like something was stopping me. It's like, no, you're not going to cross that line. So I'm like, okay, well, what's this? Is it just my insecurities? Maybe it's because I'm, not used to it. So I kept trying, but every time I would get close to hooking up, something would stop me. And I didn't know what it was. So eventually, about 3 years ago, I hit a real low spot in my life. I was depressed. I just didn't care about anybody anymore, anything. I was just, like they say, those guys have nothing to lose. That was me. I didn't care. I had nothing. I would get into a fight if I had to. I would do all sorts of just crap where I just didn't care. And then eventually one day at work, it got real bad where I was alone. And so I had this feeling. It was just through John MacArthur and some messages I listened to and stuff. I was just listening to these guys, and I felt an overwhelming sadness in my heart. Like I never felt. Like I was able to always numb it and push it away with, alcohol or hanging out with people, or just, able to block it with video games, all sorts of vices. And yet when I was at work, I felt this overwhelming sadness. And so I had to use the bathroom. So I went to use the bathroom, and it was there that the guilt of everything just seemed to hit me in like a minute. Like everything I'd done was just thrown in front of me. It's like, this is this, that. And it's like, I felt something, and I'm like, is this the roosters coming home to roost? Is this all the wrong deeds I have coming back to hit me now? Is this what's going to happen? So I, for the first time in my life, and I mean first time in a long time, in that bathroom, I kneeled on that floor, and I called out to God. I said, Lord, it's me. You know me. I walked away years ago, and I said, look, I've screwed up my life. It's broken. It's in pieces. I'm a horrible, wretched sinner. Maybe you've forsaken me. Maybe you've turned your back on me, and I'm going to hell to burn. I said, that's fine. If that is my fate, then I chose that. But I'm like, if not, save me, Lord. And I said, I have nothing to give you but a broken heart, a broken spirit, and a broken vessel. Basically, I was that broke. And instead of condemnation and not having an answer, he answered. And it was like a lightness lifted, sadness left, and it was like almost arms were around you, and it's like such a peace settled over me. And it was like he was saying, welcome home, son. I've been waiting for you. So that was about 3 years ago, and I'm just trying not to tear up on camera here, because every time I think about it, just amazing how much I love God now. And that's 3 years ago, and I've been on fire for him ever since. I've increased my life. Instead of doing the red pill degenerate for myself, I'm turning my focus to God. I'm reading my Bible. I'm learning. I'm walking after him. And he literally saved my life. Like when I called out to him, I said, either you save me now and give me a purpose, or op it out. Like that was what I was up to. I just did not care. And so God took me back, and he's changed me, and I've been on fire ever since. I started this YouTube channel. There's a good brother of mine, like I said, I mentioned him a few times, Braden Steckler. He challenges a lot of people in his Christian Discord he's got, and he just really challenged me to make a YouTube channel. He said, you should do it, man. I don't really know what I'm doing. My videos can clearly show that I'm still learning, but I just want to share his testimonies that I felt God pushing me in this direction. He said, you've got to get out there. You've got to share your knowledge, your testimony. And I said, okay, so I will. So this is from a guy that I just want you to take from it, knowing that no matter what you've done, how far you think you've fallen, or how far you think you've gone, God can use you, and God will take you back. No matter what you've done, how far you've fallen, how far you think you ran away, God is still waiting, saying, come home, son, come home, daughter. He's saying, my arms are open, and he's waiting to take you back. And if you repent and confess all your sins to him, and give him your life, he will fix you. He can take the broken pieces and put them together, which is what he's doing. And I have a long way to go in healing. Like I said, I'm 3 years into my journey. I'm so happy following him. I have just peace that where things can be falling down around me. People can be panicking at work, and there's been financial burdens and stuff, but it's like there's a stillness in me. It's like I know I'm okay because I'm like, God's got me, and he's never going to let me go. So turn back to God. Don't let the devil trick you into thinking that you're too far gone, because I'm here to tell you from a prodigal and what I went through and what I've recovered from, you're never too far gone, and God will take you back, will heal you, and will use you. I'll probably drop more of a updated video on my testimony, again, like more in depth. If you're interested, feel free to comment below, and I'll drop more of it and how God has really helped change me. And anyways, this is a voice in the wilderness, a soldier, bondservant of Christ. I'll leave the video here, and like I said, post down below if you want a part 2, and that will be more in the detail, sort of the struggles I went through and sort of the dark places and a little bit more of a background of me. So I will say, leave you there. May the Lord's light guide your path. May he protect and watch over you. And may you have a blessed day, evening, or afternoon whenever you watch this. And just stay strong. And remember, God always loves you. And you are never too far gone. And God is waiting for you to return. Thank you.